Is it too early to do a summertime mani? Because this totally has me daydreaming about being at the beach. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back. I'm Jeannie, and this mani was inspired by this dip powder that was made to resemble seashells. So I wanted to do a beach themed, seashell themed mani. So stick around, let's get into it, and I'll show you how I created this look. Here's the dip powder that inspired this mani. So this is from Sensations of the Eye Acrylics, and this is She Sells Seashells. And I'm laughing because I can't tell you how many times I had to re-record that just to get the name right. Such a tongue twister. But either way, this dip is incredible. And because I really wanted to focus on the nail art, I went ahead and pre-dipped my other nails. So these are also from Sensations of the Eye Acrylics. This is Blossoming, which is a temperature changer, which you see in the cold state now, but I'll show you. You can see at the end when my hands warm up what this looks like. But it's got the most beautiful flakies, so that's what I'm wearing on my thumb and pinky. Because these powders come in baggies, I'm going to be using my Chaos Gemerald by Chaos Concepts in order to pour over the powder. When I first started buying from Sensations of the Eye Acrylics, I didn't really like that her powders all came in baggies. I preferred the jars. But now that I have way too many dip powders, I'm actually kind of relieved they come in baggies because they're easier to store because they take up less room. And now that I have these awesome accessories from Chaos Concepts, I can just pour over or pour the entire baggie in and dip that way. So it's actually less inconvenient than I thought it would be. So while jars are prettier, having the baggies not only saves space, it probably actually saves cost because I'm sure for Heather, the owner of Sensations of the Eye Acrylics, it's a lot cheaper for her to ship her powders in baggies. So I do want to talk about this powder a little bit because it kind of fascinates me. So I would swear in person that these are actual seashells in the powder, but Heather, when she made this dip, she said there are no seashells in this, that it's actually made with glitters that resemble seashells, and they are spot on. And I kind of like that they're actually glitters and not seashells because seashells aren't flexible, so they're kind of difficult to work with, especially when you're working with dip powder because they don't really form to like the curve of your nail. Whereas these glitters, they can bend and they form and they're easier to work with. So this is just like the perfect blend of that seashell look without actually having to work with seashells. I will also mention that this is on a clear base, so it's going to look different depending on what base color you're dipping on. So if you dipped on a black base, it's going to look a lot different and pop a little bit more than what I'm doing on my tips. And I am not wearing clear tips, so it's going to look a little bit darker than if you were dipping on top of clear tips or your natural nails. So really it's going to just pick up whatever that base color is and look a little bit different. So if you notice that it looks a little bit darker, a little like tanny, peachy, it's because of the color of my tips. And I'm working with this powder just like I would any chunky glitter, even though this isn't a super chunky glitter because it comes in a baggie. I'm just going to pour over straight from the baggie. So I apply a thin, even layer of dip base to my entire nail, and then I will pour the powder over my nail into my Chaos Gemerald. And you'll notice for my first layer, I don't really pick up a lot of the glitter pieces, which is fine because I don't want super bulky nails. So really I'm just concentrating on picking up maybe some smaller pieces, more of the clear dip powder or acrylic powder really, because Sensations of the Eye Acrylic, so these are actually acrylic powders that can be used for dip. So if you work with monomer, you can use her powders for monomer, but I just don't really like the smell of monomer, so I don't really play with that. Which acrylic powder is dip powder, it's just that dip powder is more finely milled. So all acrylic powders you can use for dip, but not the other way around. All dip powders can't be used for acrylic. Some dip powders you'll get marbling, things like that. So in case you're wondering the difference, they're essentially the same. It's just that one way is compatible and the other way may not be. Sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent, but now that I finished with my first layer, I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of my baggie into my Chaos Gemerald because for my second layer, I want to lay my finger flat in. And I just want to show you just how beautiful these glitters are, which I feel like you really don't see the true beauty until we get to top coat, so I can't wait to show you that. So after my first layer is completely dry, I'm going to dust off the excess powder using my dust brush, and I'm just going to let you watch my second layer. So I'll just really quickly explain for my second layer. I'm going to apply a thin, even layer of dip base to my entire nail, and then I will turn my hand upside down and lay my finger flat into the powder, and that way I can pick up more of those larger glitter pieces.
Invincible.
I don't want to create bulk with a third dip into the glitter, so instead, because I want more glitters on my nail, I'm going to concentrate on glitter placement. So because I'm not sure where I want to place the glitters just yet, I just applied a thin, even layer of dip base to my entire nail, and then I'm going to use my precision tool. I dip it into that wet dip base, and then I will start fishing around into the powder for the glitters that I want to use. And sometimes you have to fish a little bit to get it to stick, but dipping it in the wet dip base definitely does help it stick to your precision tool. So I'm just going to concentrate on picking up those glitters, placing them wherever I want them. And there's like different glitter piece colors, in here. So I'm just going to kind of vary it a little bit. And I don't want my entire nail covered in glitter, but I do want a little bit more coverage, which is why I'm doing the glitter placement. So I'm going to show you this index finger, but I will do my middle finger and ring finger off camera. I went ahead and capped my nails in clear, activated, and filed and buffed off camera. So here's how the mani's looking. So now we're going to get into a little bit of that nail art. I'm going to be starting with my middle finger, and I'll be using this Gin Bee Crazy Top Coat in the thick formula, which I got off of Zillabeau. And this actually has 3 different formulas. So there's soft, standard, and then this thick one, which I saw the thick one in some YouTube videos, and I was really intrigued. And I thought it would be really great for that 3D seashell look because it is just so thick. And it's thicker than a builder gel. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's not solid. So I'm just using that gel liner brush and I'm picking up a little bit. So I'm starting at the middle of my nail, and at the free edge, I'm creating like a little bit of a dot. And this is really hard to see because it's clear, so apologies for that, but I couldn't figure out how to show you really well. But then from that dot, I'm drawing a thin line up towards my cuticle area, but I'm not going to go all the way to the cuticle area, just a little bit up close to that area. And then I'm going to do the same on each side and it's going to be a little bit shorter because the nail tapers at the almond shape, but I'm going to draw a little bit of a dot. And then I'm going to kind of taper towards that first middle line, but towards that cuticle area, if that makes sense at all. So I'll do the same for the other side as well. I'll pick up a little bit of that crazy top coat. I will draw that dot on the other side of the center line. So the center line is kind of like my anchor, my base, what I'm working the other lines off of. So I'll draw that dot, and then I will taper it. It won't be like a straight line up towards my cuticle area. I'm kind of pointing it a little bit, narrowing it towards that center line. Hopefully that kind of explains it. So I'll do one more on either side of that, and then I will cure that for about 45 seconds because I want to do some chrome.
Invincible.
So here's how it looks after I cured it. It would have shown up more if I would have done it on like a black background because I left it as a light background. I wanted to pop a little bit more, so I decided to use this chrome. So this is AC2. This is the Candy Aurora Chrome from iGel Beauty. And I don't want anything like too drastic, but I just wanted to show a little bit more. So you can see here, I love these chrome pens because the chrome pigment is actually in the cap of the pen, and then it's got that sponge tip. So you don't need an eyeshadow applicator, and you just, if you need more chrome powder, you just screw it back into the cap and then you get more powder. So it's a little less mess. I'm just going ahead and rubbing that into the crazy top coat to show that. So you can see it's a very subtle chrome, but it makes it show a little bit more to where you can kind of see that seashell look. So I love the way this paired together. Once I'm happy with that, I want to dust off the excess chrome powder because I don't want to get it into my top coat. But I did decide I do want to do some gem placement, but I'm going to use the crazy top coat as my jewelry gel as well because it's so thick. I figured it would be really great for adhesion. So I kind of mentioned how the lines that I drew, I didn't go all the way up to my cuticle area, and that's because I'm leaving room for the gems. So in that blank area above those lines, between like the line, the end of the lines and my cuticle area, I'm just applying a dollop of that crazy top coat. I'm not really sure how much I'll need, so I just want to make sure that I have plenty so that it's going to cover my gems. So once I've got that, the way I like to use jewelry gel is I like to place the jewelry gel on and then gel top coat and then place my gems. And that way I don't have to worry about top coating around my gems. And I do need that gel top coat because I chromed on top of the crazy top coat, and the chrome is just going to rub off if I don't protect that with top coat. So I do want to use a thinner top coat because I don't want to level out that 3D seashell look. So if I used a thicker top coat, you'd probably lose that 3D effect. So I find that this Sassy Mouse gel top coat is nice and thin. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to apply a thin, even layer of that covering my entire nail. and you'll see it does not impact that 3D effect, which I love. Once I have my nail fully covered, I'm not going to cure just yet. I want to leave the gel wet, and then I'm going to go in with these pearl charms that I have. I can't remember where I got them. It may have been Amazon or maybe like AliExpress or something like that. If I can find them, I will link them down below in the description. Or if I can find something similar, I'll link it down below in the description. But I'm just taking a larger piece and I'm using my rhinestone picker from iGel Beauty. So I've got that larger pearl, and then I'm going to do smaller ones around it. So I'm going to do it kind of at like the center of my nail. I don't really have a design in mind. I'm just kind of figuring out as I go on how I want it to look. And if they shift a little bit, I'll use the other end, that dotting tool end of the rhinestone picker, and I'll move them around because I want to make sure that they're exactly where I want them before I cure it. So I'll finish placing my gems and then I'll cure for a full 60 seconds. For my index finger and ring finger, I'm going to be using these 3D stickers, which kind of fit in with the whole theme. I'm only going to do like 1 or 2 stickers because I don't want to go too overboard, but I just want to tie the whole look together, and I thought these stickers would be perfect for what I'm doing. So these are 3D stickers, so there's going to be texture, but I will say they are really thick, so it does take a little bit of work to get them to lay flat. I actually had to press down with my finger, not just using this silicone end, just to make sure that everything was completely flat. But I will top coat it as well, just to make sure that they are secure. Once my stickers are secure, it's time for top coat. So I'll be using my Mani Boss 2-in-1 Gel Base and Top Coat, which is a little bit thicker, and I wanted something thicker because of the 3D stickers. So I skipped my middle finger because I already top coated that, and then I'm going to zoom in to give you this top coat moment because I love the way glitters pop the moment you apply top coat. Just how gorgeous is that? Once I've got those top coated, I'm going to cure for a full 60 seconds. As always, I'm going to finish off my mani by rehydrating my cuticles, and I'm using a combo today. So I'm going to start off using my Squeaky Clean Cuticle Balm. So this is mainline, and this is a fragrance-free, I was about to say scent, but it's not really scent, but it's fragrance free, so there's no added fragrance to it. And I love using it to pair with things. So it's really great if you want to pair it with a different scent. So if you want to use like a scented cuticle oil, but you want the moisture of a balm, or if you're just sensitive to scents, Squeaky Clean is a really good option. So I went in with that balm, and then I'm going to go in with the limited edition mini butter lotion. So Farewell Seasonal Depresso, but I do want to show you the size difference. So Spooked is the regular size of the butter lotions. So Pat found bottles to match the regular line butter lotions, and they are so adorable. So anyway, Farewell Seasonal Depresso is a limited edition butter lotion. I highly recommend it. It's a fruity, fresh scent. It's not overpowering at all. I just love the scent of it. But that's why I used the Squeaky Clean, because I wanted to pair a balm with the lotion. So anyway, that was a lot, but we're all wrapped up. So here's the finished look. This has me really craving being at the beach. I hope it's not too soon for a beach mani, but I had so much fun creating this look. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this. And it also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which helps grow my channel. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.